Seeing that everybody's sad that Mob Psycho has ended, I want to make a video about the spin-off that they made, Mob Psycho 100 Reigen. We start off the spin-off seeing some random girl running with some bread in her mouth, and then we see who the main character of this spin-off's gonna be. It's not Reigen, it's actually Karata. Karata sees a girl running with bread in her mouth and her curiosity got the best of her, so she followed her and in turn was late for school. It's cool to see that Karata hasn't changed since the end of the series, and she's still her old self. It cuts to Karata being in class with her classmates. She is now in high school. She has new friends, but she doesn't really have anything in common with them. It's not like middle school. These are normal high school girls, opposed to Karata's more nosy, more spirit hunter personality. Karata reflects on the past and misses the telepathy club, you could say. She states once she got into high school she wanted to become an adult and be less like childish, but she can't shake her love for the occult.
Thank you so much for visiting us.
The other girls do what high school students usually do and they start gossiping, but Karata isn't interested in their gossiping. She's not able to talk to these high school girls about what she likes, like the telepathy, the psychic stuff, because that would be weird. I like this panel right here because it shows that she has everyone around her, but no one around her. Like there's people there, but they're not there. She feels alone, even though she's not alone. The girls invite Karateka to a new cafe that opened up, but she declines because she has work. They interrogate her about her work and she says that she works at a bakery. They ask what bakery and she just runs away. Karateka has grown on me and this spin-off just makes me like her even more. As she walks to her work, she monologues to herself about her being like the Batman of school. She calls herself a mystery hunter. She has this badass panel. She is in fact the badass mystery hunter's secretary of the Spirits and Such consultation office. She thinks a lot of her new job. She talks about how in this office they solve troubleshooting problems and even the worst of the worst ghosts. We see her walk into her new job for the first time and there's just some weirdo guy with a pencil on his lip. This weirdo guy we seen was no other than Reigen Arataka. Reigen's surprised that Karata showed up again. Karata's happy to be here, but Reigen doesn't need her, and she just shows up randomly. Reigen's confused on why she keeps showing up out of nowhere, so he tells her to take some time off, and he'll call her if she's ready, but she states that he never calls. Karata asks Reigen if she could work there for real, saying, if you do what you like, the money will follow, right? Implying that she's not getting paid for this, even though I still haven't seen you do any work, which is just absurd. We obviously know that, Reigen is the GOAT. Reigen starts by flexing on with spirits that he's exterminated more than he could even count. He doesn't want her to get involved in this dangerous work, saying this isn't a type of thing that an amateur could just jump into. Him also saying it's also not a fun life, danger is just around the corner. Even going as far as telling her to quit while she's ahead, and not to give up her peaceful life so easily. Reigen goes on a rant about the evil spirits and opponents that he's faced during his spirit run. He also mentions that there's people that steal other people's lives. Like that, I don't know how to say that, but you guys could just read that right there. It's whatever that is. Karata wants Reigen to tell her all the stories about the cool evil spirits and phenomenons he's faced, but he brushes it off, and then he goes on this huge rant about him saving people and exercising things and saving like buildings and military bases from ghosts and stuff like that. From this, you can see that Reigen hasn't changed much, really. Reigen says that he's a jack of all trades. There are times when I'm the only thing stopping the forces of hell from plunging the world into darkness. Karata was in pure shock over what you just heard Reigen say. Reigen is a great manipulator. Everyone just believes him immediately. Reigen thinks to himself that he scared her off, so she should leave him alone now. But that's when she slams the desk and Reigen gets shocked. She screams at Reigen to promise her whenever he goes on one of those crazy missions to call her, telling him, I've told you before, as long as you let me work here, I'll help out with anything. The way you've been ignoring me is just cruel. Reigen has a confused look in his face and he's like, there's really no work for you here. She then makes some quick tea for Reigen, but it's cold. Reigen said, hey, if I told you this tea was kinda cold, would that count as an abuse of authority? She starts fake crying and Reigen is getting annoyed. Karata screams, I want to see the profound mysteries of this place with my own two eyes. I'll just keep pestering you until you give in and let me work here. Reigen saves himself by saying what he mentioned earlier was a rare case, and it barely happens. Karata tells Reigen about the girl she's seen this morning with just bread in her mouth running, saying she was late. Reigen told her, like you see in manga, and she replied with, yeah. Reigen starts freaking out, like, are you serious? Reigen looks all serious, saying something might have happened to her. And then he gave Karata a mission to always keep an eye out for her, and to contact him immediately if he sees her again. Karata is in shock, saying, could it be true? No, it definitely is. Deep down, Reigen is the same as me. And Reigen has this, blamed face because it's obviously not true. He's just trying to get her, off his back. Then the final panel shows that Reigen was just bored. Haha, I tricked you guys. That actually wasn't the final panel. We have another one. We have a Mob cameo. Mob introduces himself as Shigeru Kageyama, and he's super excited to be here on the manga again. And he's happy to see everyone after such a long time. Dimple interrupts and says, nah, I mean it's only been 3 months since Mob Psycho 100 ended. And Mom being all serious and saying in the story he's a third year middle school student studying for his high school entrance exams. He gets into a weird pose and says, "This is a time of growth and maturity, so I'll probably grow a few inches too. I'll show all of you a brand new me." Which is really awesome to see of Mob. Dimples being Dimple and says, "What is that pose? You're not even in the manga this time." And then it ends with the shocked Mob face. This shit was awesome. One never fucking misses, not even on spin offs. Like and subscribe and tell me if you want me to cover chapter 2. Peace.